My heartfelt greetings to all my YouTube friends for your wonderful support to my channel as well as to all my presentations. Today, I would like to give you a very brief talk on the importance of research as a form of communication. Research and communication are two sides of the same coin. Research and communication are inseparably interdependent. We cannot think of one without the other. It's true that research is not for communication and it's only language or communication which is for research. This does not mean that language or communication is of secondary importance. Whatever we want to say, whatever we discover, whatever we invent has to be presented in a language. Hence, language, communication is as important as the research we undertake. So we could say that research is a form of communication. A good researcher is a good communicator. A good researcher must be a good communicator. A great researcher must be a great communicator because a great researcher must be a voracious reader. Further, a great researcher partakes in a number of academic deliberations. So his voracious reading as well as his participation in a number of deliberations have enabled him to become proficient in communication skills which he exploits to communicate his research outcomes effectively and also comfortably. Okay. So like other non-fiction writings such as memos, letters, reports, research must be communicated clearly and effectively. You know well that research involves a number of processes, a number of steps. For example, the mechanics of gathering data, sorting out all the data you have collected, analyzing the data you have collected, scratching an outline, scratching out, and preparing the working outline of your research paper, and finally presenting your research outcome or your inferences in a language. So, in the process of research, these steps should not overshadow your knowledge and skills which you have already acquired, which you are supposed to employ to communicate effectively and clearly. Okay. So today, in the market, you have access to innumerable research handbooks. And in these research handbooks or style manuals or style books, you will find wonderful guidelines with regard to usage, language, as well as the style you are supposed to employ in your research writing. So these are only conventions. These conventions are meant for enabling the researcher to communicate better. And these conventions are useful only to those who have already got sufficient exposure to the various skills of the language. If the communication skills of a researcher are intolerably poor, if a researcher cannot communicate his ideas without flaws, comfortably, or with minimum number of tolerable errors, I don't think he will be benefited by these style manuals. Now I tell you this because once you have decided to become a researcher, you must give importance not only to the kind of research you would like to undertake, but also to the language in which you would like to present your ideas. But what should be kept in your mind once you become a researcher is that the skills of the language cannot be mastered overnight. Hence, once you decide to become a researcher, or once you register yourselves for doctoral research, you should give equal importance to the skills of the language. That's, you know well that your communication skills will certainly enable you to communicate better, so that you will be able to make your readers understand your intentions 100%. Hence, my humble request to the researchers is that you should give importance to the various skills of the language: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. You should also give importance to the style manuals, research handbooks, which give you much information about the usage, the kind of language you are supposed to employ in your research document, and also the style you are supposed to use in your research document. Hence, dear researchers, concentrate not only on your research but also on your skills, skills of the language, which you could master in the course of time, right? Thank you very much.